Okay, welcome to another episode of Black Atlas Goings On. My name is Kenny, aka Black Atlas, and today we are going to be revisiting the Sous Vide. So today's recipe that we are going to be doing is Eggs Benedict. And as normal, we are going to go ahead and go through the ingredients first, and then we are going to go through the directions step by step. So, first, we need 4 eggs at room temperature, 1 tablespoon of white wine vinegar, 4 English muffins cut in half. I just haven't taken them out of the package yet. 4 slices of ham or smoked salmon. So I have smoked salmon. And this is the Latitude brand smoked salmon. I took this out of the freezer because you can freeze it after you buy it and then thaw it out when you need it. And then 1 to 2 tablespoons of finely chopped chives. Got those right here. And then butter for spreading. Now for the hollandaise sauce, we are going to need 8 ounces of butter, 4 tablespoons of white wine vinegar, 1 small shallot, 10 black peppercorns, and the small shallot is finely chopped, 10 black peppercorns, 1 bay leaf, 3 egg yolks, I just haven't gotten the yolks out yet, a pinch of sea salt, this is pink Himalayan sea salt, and a pinch of castor sugar. So what we are going to do is we are going to go ahead and get these ingredients set aside, get the sous vide brought over here, and then we will get these directions going step by step. Okay, so the first step, it says set your sous vide machine to 150 degrees. So let's go ahead and do that. We can do it through the app. And then once it comes up to 150 degrees, actually, we can go ahead and set the time for 1 hour. So it is at 105 degrees right now. It is going to go up to 150 degrees. And once it gets up to 150 degrees, it will start that timer. So it also says place the eggs in the water bath and cook sous vide for 1 hour. So once this reaches 150 degrees, we will be right back with you and we will get those eggs put in. Okay, so the sous vide just reached 150.8 degrees. So let's go ahead and get those 4 eggs in there. Okay, so there is about 20 minutes left in the cook time for the eggs. So we are going to go ahead and get this hollandaise sauce started because there are some steps to this. So what we need to do is first, we need to melt the butter for the hollandaise sauce in a pan over low heat. So I brought out the trusty little single eye, turn that on low, and then I'll get the butter and get it in the pan. And then when it's a little bit closer time for the eggs to be done, I'm going to need to toast the egg muffins or toast the English muffins. Okay, so the butter is in the pan and it is slowly melting. And so we are going to get a jar for this because that is what it says. We have a jar for it because it says after the butter is done melting, remove from heat and pour butter into a jar or jug. So we have a jar for that. So that is melting slowly. And I am using the Kerrygold garlic and herb butter as usual. So once this butter is done melting, I will be right back with you. Okay, so the butter is all melted. So I am going to go ahead and get this poured into this jar, and then we will move on to the next step. Okay, the butter is done. Next step, put the vinegar, shallots, peppercorns, and bay leaf in a small saucepan over high heat and bring to boil. So we have a small saucepan. Right now I have it still on low. I'll turn it up to high once I put everything in there. So we are going to put in the vinegar, the shallots, the peppercorn, and the bay leaf. Here's the shallot. The peppercorns, and the bay leaf. And we are going to bring this to a boil over high heat. Okay, this is boiling and it is cooked for 1 to 2 minutes. So the next step says to remove from heat. Let's get that done. And then the next step says put the egg yolks in a heat-proof bowl and place over a pan of simmering water. So let me get a small pan or pot that has simmering water. Turn this back on. I'm going to put it on medium for now. And let me get those egg yolks. All right, so I am waiting for that to simmer. And with that step, it says put the egg yolks in a heat-proof bowl, which I have right here. Do not let the bottom of the bowl touch the water. Whisk the egg yolks with the salt and sugar until pale. Then pour the vinegar mixture through the fine sieve on the yolks and continue whisking until well combined. And then slowly add the butter in a steady stream, whisking constantly until the sauce is smooth, thick, and shiny. So we are waiting for this water to simmer. We have a sieve here for the vinegar mixture. And then we have the butter right here. And once the sauce is all done, then I will get back to the rest of the steps for this because it does not take long at all. And it is showing there's about 7 minutes left on there. So we will see where we are when we're done. Okay, so the water is simmering. So we are going to go ahead and get the whisk. We are going to go ahead and put this bowl over here. And we are going to whisk the egg yolks with the sugar and salt until pale. So let's go ahead and get the sugar and salt. Actually, let me start whisking the eggs first. Then I'll throw the salt in and the sugar. And then I'll whisk that until it is pale. All right. The color of that is getting pale. So next, we're going to pour the vinegar mix in through a sieve and then continue whisking until well combined. So let me go ahead and get the vinegar mixture and the sieve. Okay, so the yolks and the vinegar mixture are combined. So now we are going to go ahead and get the butter in there with a steady stream until the sauce is thick and shiny. All right, the sauce is starting to thicken up. So I will let that sit for a couple minutes and I will take a look and see what else we have to do. Okay, so my battery died when my sauce got thick and shiny. So here is my hollandaise sauce, nice and warm. So we are going to move back up to the top of the page to the steps for the English muffins and the eggs. So we are on step 3, toast the English muffins. So let me go ahead and get those English muffins toast, and we will be right back with you. Okay, so the first set of English muffins are done. So I am going to get a knife, and it says to spread the butter on the muffins. Okay, so I have all of the English muffins buttered here, and they look and smell amazing. So the next step says to put a muffin half on each plate and top with ham or salmon. So I have them all in one container right here. So let me go ahead and get that salmon and get that put on each one of the 4. Okay, so my battery died again, so I don't know how much you saw, but here it is with the salmon on each of the English muffins. And next, we need to put a dab of the hollandaise sauce on here. So let's go ahead and get that done. So here they are with a dab of hollandaise sauce on each of the pieces of smoked salmon. So let's go ahead and get those eggs cracked and get those put on there next. Okay, so the last step says to spoon more hollandaise sauce on. And then put chives. All right, so here is what it looks like. Smells delicious. So let's go ahead and get a knife and fork and get that taste test in. Cheers. Going back in for a second bite. It is delicious. Okay, the hollandaise sauce turned out great. The eggs, they could have gone a little bit less. It could also be because I left them in the water after they were done. but that's my fault, instead of taking them out. But this was a good recipe, and the hollandaise sauce definitely tasted good with the garlic and herb butter instead of just regular butter because it gave it a little bit of extra flavor. But with that being said, this has been Eggs Benedict in the Blitz Home Sous Vide. My name is Kenny, aka Black Atlas. Make sure y'all like, share, comment, subscribe, and that costs you nothing to do, but it gets my face out there, and it helps out the channel a lot. So, with that being said, until the next video, I'll catch y'all on the flip side.